What do we do, Cap? We fight.
Hey there guys, it's Hobo525 here, back with another video. And today, I'm going to be doing another episode of Wave vs. Wave, where basically I get two waves from action figure lines and compare them with each other to see which wave is the superior one. So yeah, today I'm going to be doing the Avengers Endgame Wave 1 and the Avengers Endgame Wave 3. So yeah, I already compared this wave to the Infinity War wave, but yeah, now I'm going to compare it to the Build-A-Figure Thor wave because I finished it. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the Endgame Wave 1 is kind of a hit or miss for me. Like, I don't know, I have trouble having like a good opinion of this wave. I'm not going to call it like a bad wave or a particularly like great wave. It's just meh, and I'll tell you why. So I'm just gonna go over the figures real quick. So here we have Ronan right here. Love this figure, by the way. Just all in all, fantastic figure. I think the MCU killed it of his design, and Hasbro did a great job of having the design be accurate. Yeah, so I don't have too much issues with it. And as you can see right here, I did have to hot glue part of his leg back together because if I did have to have one problem, it would be the articulation on like his knees. Like his knee joints, they're very hard to like bend. Like I have to put, a decent amount of force into them to actually bend. And I tried to do that for this one and it broke. So I learned my lesson, and this was like before I learned the hot water trick, which I did try with this leg and it didn't work. So yeah, but these knees are very annoying and like hard to bend. And, like, I'm not blaming Hasbro or anything for me breaking this. I'm just saying it sucks that the knees are so hard to bend. But, yeah, so all in all, great figure. And, okay, that just fell. I'm not going to worry about that. So, next up, we have the Captain America figure. I like it. I personally like this. I don't really have too big of a problem. Like, a lot of people didn't really like the figure, or some people didn't because this really isn't like an accurate representation of the Quantum Realm suit, because in the movie it's white and this is gray or silver. I don't really mind that much. I actually think it looks really cool silver, but yeah, so it's not too big of a problem. I personally like this figure a lot, and I really do like this head sculpt. It's very Chris Evans-esque, I'd say. And then this shield is awesome too. Just love the new Captain America shields Hasbro is bringing upon us. So yeah, and then I'm just gonna get Ebony Maw right here. Again, awesome figure. Probably my favorite one out of this entire wave. Yeah, really good figure. Just like his entire look. Very accurate to what he looks like in the movie. And he's just a lot of fun, to pose around and stuff like that. And I haven't had a chance to use him in stop motions yet, but I cannot wait to do that. So, yeah. Next up, we have Citizen V. And this is an alright figure, I guess. I don't really care about him that much. I don't know too much about the character. It's just an alright figure, I just put him on my shelf. I didn't really pose him that much, but yeah, just alright. The comic figures in this wave could be hit or miss too, by the way. But there are like a couple really good ones, but yeah, so just an alright figure, I guess. And then I'm actually gonna do Nighthawk next. So yeah, here's Nighthawk. He's an alright figure. Like out of all the figures in this wave, Citizen Kane's probably the worst for me. I don't know too much about his character and his cape. He can't really stand up well with it. The cape weighs him down a lot. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that design. Like I know it looks like this in the comics, but still, it just doesn't balance with the figure well. Yeah, so I don't really have anything else to say about this guy. He's not a bad figure, but I just don't care about him that much. Okay, so next up is the Living Laser, and I'd say like he might be my second or third favorite figure out of this wave, behind Ebony Maw and Ronan. This is such a good figure. Oh my god. Like I thought he was gonna be the worst one. Like I didn't like his design at first, but like once I got the figure, and like I used this guy for a really big stop motion project of mine about 6 months ago, and Oh, he was so awesome to animate with. This figure just looks awesome. His design really did grow on me. And I just loved, I don't know, I just love handling the figure. It's such a cool figure. Just his overall design looks awesome. I love how they went with this design. I don't know. It also has like the magenta on this. It's very appealing to look at, very easy on the eyes. I don't know. He just kind of stands out from these figures, and I like that a lot. Okay, next up is Hercules. This is like a really good figure, by the way. Really good comic figure. I love how, tall he is, how bulky he is. Just all around an awesome figure. And yeah, I don't have too much to say. It's just an awesome figure, to have and pose around. And I was pretty hyped for him before this wave. So yeah, now we have the Build-A-Figure himself, Thanos. Yay, Armored Thanos. Okay, so yeah, this is an okay Build-A-Figure. Out of all the Thanos figures I have, and I have every single MCU Marvel Legends Thanos, so yeah, which is like all three, but yeah, this is definitely the worst by far. The problem is lack of articulation. He does not have a hip rotation whatsoever, and that's really a downer for me. That really does suck. Because that's, to me at least, that's kind of like some essential articulation a figure needs to have. I mean, he does have an ab crunch, but I'm going to be honest, I would prefer a hip rotation more than an ab crunch. Yeah, but other than that, this is a pretty solid figure. And another gripe is that I wish he didn't come with the Infinity Gauntlet because, well, that's not really accurate to the movie. I just wish it was like his purple hand. And it could have even been like an extra arm, But yeah, so that's kind of annoying, but it's whatever. And that may not be like, Hasbro's fault because they might have not known that when they made the figure, but still. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much this wave. I know they're kind of on the ground right now, but I don't feel like picking them up. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, this is an alright wave, And what makes it an alright wave is probably the movie figures and the Living Laser. So yeah, now let's move on to the Thor wave. Okay, guys, so next up is the Thor wave. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends waves of all time. Really, it is. This wave is pretty much perfection. But, let's go over it. And yeah, actually, before I go over the figures, I gotta say the biggest plus is probably the fact that it has all movie figures. And I've said this many, many times on my channel, pretty much in all my Waves episode. So I'm going to say it again to those who are new. I'm not exactly the biggest fan, or I don't really think comic book figures should be in movie waves. They should just be like released, in an all comic book figure wave. Movie figures should focus on characters from the movie. Like it makes sense sometimes when there's not enough characters to make a wave about. Like some of the Spider-Man waves, it makes sense that there's comic book figures because they didn't have enough characters to, make into figures that would actually sell. But like a lot of other, films like Infinity War or this first Endgame Wave right over there, that could have had all movie figures very easily. So yeah, so I'm so happy that this is all movie figures. And okay, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. So let's get into it. So here we have Iron Man right here, Mark 85. And this probably isn't my favorite Iron Man figure, like my favorite MCU one, and it's probably not even my favorite MCU armor, but it's still a solid figure. It's definitely up there. I love this figure a lot. It has great articulation. I love the paint apps too. It's just almost a perfect figure. And yeah, so awesome figure right there. I don't even know why I said almost. He pretty much is perfect. One little gripe though is that, I know this isn't like a full-on review, but I just want to mention this. His head, like no other helmet or Tony Stark head could ever fit on that. I mean, I don't know why that is. It's kind of annoying how they made this joint so small, but it's whatever. Would have been nice though. I think you could fit the Tony Stark head on there if you like forced it enough, but still. Okay, so next up is Captain America. And this is still a near, like, perfect figure. This is, like, my favorite suit of Captain America, the Avengers one. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I was so happy when they, like, decided to release this figure because, like, I was trying to get the 2012 one. But, yeah, This one is a lot better. My one problem is, though, that it's just like a repaint. And yeah, so as you can see, it still has the ball joint legs, which I really don't like. Probably the worst part of this figure, because sometimes it makes it very hard for this figure to actually stand up. So I wish it was just like, I don't know, like a repainted version of the Worthy Cap figure we got, or something like that. Maybe even the Civil War one, but it was just kind of lazy that they just repainted the 2012 one. But yeah, that's my only problem with this. The figure looks awesome. I just love how, you know, the Chris Evans head sculpt fits on there. Very nice. So, yeah. So, this figure was near perfect, but it did have a couple of problems. Still holds up, though, because I just love that suit. Okay, so next up is Vision. Very happy to get this guy because, you know, the 2-pack that he was in with Scarlet Witch was going up on eBay. And, yeah, I don't know why I mentioned that. I just wanted to say that I was very happy to get this guy. And this is an awesome figure, too. Just very accurate, you know, to the film, very well made, and I could just tell this is Vision. Very nice figure. Yeah, not really too much to say. I just love this figure a lot. Okay, so next up is the Thor Ragnarok Heimdall. Very excited about this guy. I've been wanting a Heimdall figure forever. You know, I don't know, since like Thor Ragnarok, you know, since that wave came out, I've just been wanting that forever, and now it's finally here, and oh, he's such a cool figure. I really gotta hand it to Hasbro of this one. Like, this is, the head sculpt, it looks so nice. I can't, oh, Hasbro's just killing it. I'm sorry, I keep like worshiping these head sculpts, but I just gotta hand it to Hasbro. They're really killing it lately with these head sculpts, and this is just an awesome figure, and I really do love the look of Heimdall. So, yeah. Here we have Valkyrie right here, which is an all-right figure. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a bit better. I'll just go over my problems first. Okay, so sorry about that. I was trying to see if she would stand, because that was a problem, by the way. She sometimes had trouble standing, but I don't know. Next up is at her neck. It looks kind of fat. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know. Just look at it. It's either like her head is too short to be, you know, like on the neck, or like her neck is too tall, I'd say, but I don't know. Something's off about her neck, but the head sculpt's very well. It really does look like Tessa Thompson, so gotta hand it to Hasbro for that. But yeah, this is a really nice figure. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about Valkyrie. Probably my least favorite figure of this wave. But I do love the look, though. I like, you know, I'm glad they got her in her Valkyrie suit. So that's nice. Next up is Iron Patriot. Again, great figure. I did do a review on this guy, so I'm going to make this brief. Awesome figure. Just love the paint apps, and I just love like all the accessories and just sheer bulk this figure is. If you did see my review of this guy, one problem that I did have, and it was pretty big, that, you know, well, let's just show you guys. So this arm would go up like this. That's how far the arm would go up. You know, that's all fine and dandy, I guess. This arm cannot do that. The articulation on the right arm of this Iron Patriot is absolutely awful. I tried the hot water trick multiple times. Still not working out for me. If any of you know a trick that could actually help, you know, this arm not suck, tell me in the comments. But yeah, so again, that's like my one problem. But yeah, if you want to know more about this figure, watch the review. So yeah, next up we have the Build-A-Figure, Fat Thor, and this is probably one of my favorite, you know, Build-A-Figures of all time. This is just such a nice figure. I really gotta hand it to Hasbro. They killed it with the Chris Evans head sculpt. It looks so freaking accurate. Like, my God, it's so good. And then they killed it with the design of Stormbreaker. And I just love how he's in his robes. You know, people were complaining about how they rather have Thor in, like, his Infinity War suit. And, you know, I was kind of on that for a while. But then once I got this guy, I was very happy, you know, that he had, you know, his robe on. I just think it looks so funny and cool. And I don't know, if I want to, you know, use him in the Infinity War suit, I would just put his head on the Infinity War Thor body, even though, you know, he's a bit skinnier on that, but still, Again, this is an awesome figure, though. Just, it looks so good. And he's definitely like a centerpiece on my Endgame display. Or at least one of the centerpieces with Cap and Iron Man, because how can I not have this guy on the front of my display? Like, this honestly has to be one of my favorite Marvel Legend figures of all time. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this wave. So let's go over them both now. Okay, so now that I went over all the waves individually, I'm going to say which one I like better, and I gotta give it to the Bro Thor wave, and it actually wins this very easily. Like, you know, in the past, it was pretty hard to decide which wave I liked better, but I had to give it to the Thor one. It was just a lot better than the Endgame, you know, one wave, mostly because it had all movie figures, and all the movie figures in this wave were better than the ones in, you know, this wave. Like, I don't know, I just like all these figures better than these ones. Like, I can't really think of any figure that really I consider bad. You know, I had a few criticisms about Captain America and Valkyrie, but they were very minor, and they didn't really, like, ruin the figure for me. Just minor nitpicks, but the criticisms I had for this wave was more of, like, heavily criticisms, you know, because a lot of these figures really didn't belong in this wave, like Citizen V or Nighthawk, even Hercules. Like, as much as I love Hercules, I didn't really think he needed to be in this wave. Same with Living Laser. I just think, you know, all these four should have been a part of, like, their own wave or something like that. This wave should have been filled with more movie figures. And even if it was, I think this Bro Thor Build-A-Figure, or Fat Thor, whatever you want to call him, dominates this Thanos one. Just because, you know, the lack of articulation with this Thanos is pretty, you know, bad. And I just like, I mean, I don't even really like this Thanos design. I should have said that earlier, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the armored Thanos design, but, you know, that's not Hasbro's fault. That's just how he looks in the movies. But still, I just love Bro Thor. I cannot get over this figure. It's definitely one of my favorites. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about these two waves. But, you know, tell me in the comments which wave is your favorite. And I guess you could also request, you know, some other waves that I could do in the future for this show or the series or whatever. But yeah, and I do want to do the Professor Hulk wave. I just don't have all the figures yet, and I probably won't for a while because I'm not too interested in that wave, but it still looks cool. There's just a bunch of other Marvel Legends that I want right now, but yeah, once I get that wave, I might actually just compare all three of these waves to it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and with that said, Hobo525 out.